Hey everyone, this is about how adults should grow the fuck up. Now I've made a vid about this similar, it's probably in here somewhere, but I had to make it again because there's just too many people lately that I've noticed just won't grow up and act like children. And we're not just talking about my ex here. Don't worry, we're not going to touch that subject, that's in all the other vids. Lately in life, people just don't understand what they're supposed to do as an adult. They want to be children for the rest of their lives. They want to not grow up. They don't want to do anything. They expect handouts from people, and they're very nasty about it. They're like a spoiled little brat. And let's not start with relationships. Like some adults you think in relationships are absolute child. They're like children, like fighting over like who gets the last piece of sausage or something, you know? Or is that a gay club? Two guys fighting over us. Anyway, the thing that I've taught people in life is the moment you turn 18, or in some countries 21, you must grow the fuck up and start acting like an adult. Which means you have to start looking for a job. You have to get yourself a license. You have to be more independent. You have to do things on your own. You don't ask for handouts from your parents. You don't care what they say, because at the end of the day, when you're an adult, you're supposed to learn to do everything on your own. You're supposed to learn to do things in life without your parents helping you or other people helping you. Let's start with job. Alright, I can understand in the world it's very hard to get a job. Completely understand, but it shouldn't stop you from looking for one. You know, you must have a job in life, otherwise you can't afford to pay bills, you can't afford to buy food, you can't afford to, you know, do things on your own. And if you're not earning money, then you should, you know, be thinking, shit, you know, I've got to grow the fuck up. But there are people in Australia just don't want to do that. They want to sit on their ass and get payments from the government. And then when they don't get enough money from the government, they have a sook and go, they're not paying me enough money. Well, grow the fuck up and get yourself a job then. Or work out what you're spending and cut it down. See, I know so many people that are so immature, and it's like, you know, you fucking want to punch them in the fucking face. I mean, I know one girl that absolutely has nothing. She lives with her mum and she doesn't want to grow up. She doesn't know how to cook. She doesn't know how to clean. She doesn't know... It kind of sounds like my ex. Yeah, well, you know, that's a different story. But she doesn't want to grow the fuck up. And she, you know, is worried about what she can and can't wear out in public. Look, you're a fucking... You know, when you're over the age of 18, it don't matter what you fucking wear. Okay? It doesn't matter what your parents say. You're allowed to wear what the fuck you want. And if you let your parents tell you what you can and can't wear when you're an adult, you need to fucking grow up. In fact, you need to get your head checked. Because once you turn 18, you are an adult now. You can do and say what you want. You can act the way you want. You can wear what you want. Now, a lot of people don't want to be friends with people that act like a child, that act immaturity. I'm one of those people that don't have the fucking time. I don't have the fucking time to put up with immature people and people that act like children. Kind of why I'm glad I don't have an ex anymore, that, you know, it's like a babysitter to her, because, you know, she never got her license, she can barely cook, can't even fucking clean. I mean, I don't want to be with someone that can't stand on her own 2 feet and act like an adult. I mean, girls do it, but guys do it too. Guys think that, you know, they're gonna spend the rest of their life living in their parents' house and, you know, just live off them. That's not how life works. See, in life, if you do find someone, you know, it's not fair on the party that if one party's always working, or one party's always driving, or one person is only earning the money, that's not fair on the other person. You know, in a relationship especially, everything should be 50-50. Everything should be equal. You know, one week someone pays for dinner, or next week someone pays for petrol. It shouldn't always evolve around one person, because it's not fair on them. Now, I've learnt, you know, in the years I was with my ex, there's plenty of vids about it, just check below. I learnt that why am I the one that always has to drive everywhere? You know, that's kind of unfair when, you know, like there's a 30-minute distance between us, and I was the one that had to fucking drive there and back, you know, most times of the week. You know, you're not going to let your partner take a bus, you're not going to let her take a train, because it's your role as a partner to provide for your partner. You know, some things in life we don't want to do, but we have to do them. You see, in relationships, before you get into one, if you're not ready, don't get into one. If you're not mature enough to be in a relationship, don't get in one. If you're a sort of girl that just wants to hook up with guys every week, and that's fine, you know, each to their own. But eventually, you know, people are going to say, you know, you're going out with all these guys every week. You can't grow up and be with just one. You have to be with all these other guys. Now, as an adult, you're allowed to have fun. I can understand that. But if you're going from guy to guy every week, you're not growing up, being mature about it. You're being a slut. You're being, you know, a dirty girl or a dirty guy. You know, that's the thing about, you know, like people say, oh, I'm single, I can hook up with whoever I want. Yeah, but how many people is when you start thinking, well, one person I can understand, but why do you have to hook up with different guys every week? Why can't I be one guy all the time? I mean, yes, I believe you can have fun and stuff, but why do you have to hook up with more than one guy every week? Why does it have to be a different guy every week? Are you that, you know, down on yourself that you don't think, you know, you're ready? Look, it's easy for guys and girls to go on with their life the way they're living. You know, we can't tell people who they can and can't date. So according to my ex, that her family can decide who she can and can't date. That's because she's a child. You know, she may be nearly 30 years old, but, you know, they tell her who she can and can't date, who she can and can't be friends with. You know, they have her like on surveillance pretty much 24/7. That's an example of someone that can't grow up and will never grow up. That's why I hate my ex for that reason, because she can't grow up. I have a friend that just lives at home with her mum, and, you know, once her mum goes, that's it. The girl's fucked. You know, this girl can't cook, she doesn't clean, she doesn't have a license, she doesn't want a license, she doesn't want to drive. She has to go at other people because they don't want to be her friend or they don't want to hang out with her. And it's like, because you're immature, you act like a spoiled brat. That's why people don't want to hang out with you. That's why people don't want to, you know, invite you places. Especially when you tell people, oh, I've got to do this, I've got to do this. But then you complain when they invite you somewhere, but you shut them off. So why would they want to be friends with you if you are, you know, are too busy for them? You know, the world doesn't evolve around you as a person. And this is saying this to everybody. You know, you've got to understand your friends have lives. Your friends, you know, need to do their own things in life. Why should they put everything on hold for you? Now, we all, when we turn adults, need to learn how to cook. That's a one necessary thing we have to do. Our parents can't cook and clean for us for the rest of our lives. You know, and we can't just pay someone every day to do it. Cooking can be very simple. No one taught me. I had to teach myself. Actually, I taught myself at a fucking young age. At like, I'd say in high school, I was the best cook in the fucking cooking class. You know, everyone had their little groups, everyone had their little pairs. This little boy here has fucking no one to help him. So I learned how to cut up veggies. I learned how to like make risottos and fucking schnitzels and stuff. I was the best in my class. You know, I was better cooking than two people cooking, because we had like an odd number in the class, so obviously I was the one that never got a pair, which was great because I saw the people around the room and I'm thinking, fucking hell, never put children in front of a crock pot, that's for sure. But you do learn how to cook. You just watch videos, you learn what temperatures have got to be right. You know, with rice, you know, when it starts bubbling, it's like pasta. When you see the bubbles start coming up, it's cooked. You know, I know people say like you pick up a pasta and throw it against the thing. No, just get one piece of pasta and just like test it and go. You can tell if it needs 5 minutes. Pasta and rice are very simple things to cook, but you got to learn how to cook. That's for sure. The second thing is when you become an adult, you know, your parents can't drive you around for the rest of your life, so you need to learn how to get a license, which means you've got to learn, you know, the basics. You know, you've got to learn about the giveaways and all that. And you can do the free test on the RAA website or wherever you are in the world, you know, where you get your license. There's a website that helps you train for all this. Especially here in Australia, like, I went on the website and I kept practicing and then eventually I got none wrong and I got my license. And then you may say, well, the argument is, well, you need money to that. Well, instead of buying your stupid DVDs and CDs and things like alcohol and drugs, why don't you put money away to learn how to, you know, get your license? You know, that's the first thing. Like, people are so immature. They want their parents to drive them around. They want their parents to cook and clean for them. And they're living in the same house. And then when they start complaining, oh, my parents charge me too much for rent. Grow the fuck up. Because if you lived in a house by yourself, a little bit of rent ain't going to be anything compared to electricity bills, water bills, insurance. So fucking grow up. And don't complain about what your parents charge you. Because it's nothing compared to what it's like in the real world. See, as a property owner, I fully own my house. I get an income from my tenants every week. And, you know, I'm working on getting solar panels put into my house. So that way, whoever's living in my house doesn't have to pay for electricity. So it's great for them. It's great for them. But, you know, we've got to make sacrifice in life. We can't keep acting like children all our lives. Number one, the moment you become an adult, here's some advice for you. People that you know, including your parents, including your friends, they can't tell you who you can and can't date. They can't tell you what you can and can't wear. If you want to go out and you're a girl and you want to wear that fucking mini skirt with fishnets, you're allowed to do that. If you want to wear a tube top and a fucking mini skirt on a fucking cold night, that's your job. You can wear what the fuck you want. And if your parents question you about what you're wearing, big deal. You're a fucking adult. If you really care about what your parents say about what you're wearing, then you're not an adult. The moment you start letting people tell you what you can and can't do, or who you can and can't date, shout out to my ex there, then you're a fucking idiot. If you fucking can't grow up, then I'm sorry, but you've got no hope in life if you can't, you know, grow up. And it's sad because, you know, I only did year 10 of school. And once I did that, I was like, fuck, I can't take this shit. You know, I want to, like, learn things on my own. And you know what's funny? I educated myself better than what my own school was educating. Like, now I know so much about history. I know about science. I know about astronomy. I know about, you know, so many random subjects. I taught myself that. And people just, like, live their lives and just go, yeah, for life, I'll just watch the news. I'll just, you know, I'll watch my television shows. What are you learning? You know, most of the stuff on the news is depressing as fuck. And half the stuff you hear on the news isn't exactly 100% true to the fact that, you know, if you use an example of Donald Trump this, Donald Trump that, you know, in America, they hear different stuff than what we hear here in Australia. And in England hear different stuff to there. You know, you can't always base something on what you hear on the news. Like the, you know, the stabbings and the shootings and the deaths of COVID and all that. Yes, that part's true. Sometimes, you know, with the COVID thing, you don't know how much truth it is, because some countries go, oh yeah, we're doing fine, like aka China and Japan, when you know they're not really, but you've got to believe it because you're getting told that. So what I say to people is, if you're not sure about something, research it yourself. You know, actually look up pages on the subject you want, like, and you find out the truth. Whereas my ex just believed everything she's told from a retarded mother and a stepfather, and half the shit they were saying wasn't even true. This is why my ex is a vegan now, because she's probably got told things that are not true. She probably got taught, well, that vegetarian dish probably has meat in it, or that's not good for you, that'll make you fat. Well, it didn't fucking help because she's still fucking fat and she's still putting on weight. That's the reason why I can't stand people that don't grow up and don't research their shit. They're too busy listening to their parents, they're too busy listening to their friends. You know, oh, if you eat that, that'll make you fat, or if you eat that, you know, your cholesterol will go up. Why don't you fucking look into what you're eating and how much of it you're supposed to eat? You know, I've always believed portion sizes is the main key why people get fat, because they don't portion size. You know, fish is good for you. Lean meat is good for you. But if you eat too much of it, the salt in it is not good for you. You know, it will make you put on more protein and makes you put on more weight. That much versus that much is a fucking big difference. You know, it's like all these fast food places, you know. You're showing how immature you are when you're too lazy to cook and you'd rather go to a fast food place and spend like $5 to $10 at a time. That's where you're wasting your money. That's why you should learn how to cook. Because I'd rather cook myself a bowl of pasta, which you could probably cook for about, say, some packets you can get for about 50 cents to $1. Okay, well, there's $1. The sauce, $2-3. Okay, there's $3 there, $4. You know, if you want to get fancy, you don't have to. You can get a packet of mince maybe for $5. So you could say you could have 3 or 4 days worth of pasta for like $10, and you cooked it. So if you cook up a whole packet, which you don't need to, but for yourself, if you want to, you know, cook up a whole packet to yourself, maximum $10, and that can last you a couple of days. You've just saved $50 to $100 just there. And you may say, well, I can't eat pasta all the time. Okay, well then let's get into rice. Rice is cheap. Rice you can get very cheap. You can cook up man, that would last you a couple of days itself. And some days with rice you can have a soy sauce, Worcestershire sauce, tomato sauce if you want to be freaky, and that doesn't cost much. And you cooked it yourself, and they're two simple dishes. Rice and pasta are two simple dishes that will save you a lot of money. You're still getting your protein, you're still getting, okay, you want veg, okay, if you're thinking about veg and salad, you know, a big block of lettuce can cost you $1 or $2. You know, you can cook that up. You can add some fruits and stuff. And look, you could really save a lot of money instead of going out buying takeaway every night. And this is what upsets me. People are so immature that all they want to do is go, oh, I don't feel like cooking. Okay, some nights I understand if you're a family, you don't want to cook, so you shut the family. But when it's like you're 30 years old and you can't cook the simplest of things, then there's something wrong with you. You may say, well, what can you cook, Andre? You know, you've never talked about that. I can cook pasta, I can cook rice, I can cook stir fries, I can cook schnitzels, I can cook barbecue, I can make salads. That's not hard. I could make a lot of things. Who taught me? I taught myself. I watch cooking shows, I work out what the temperature is. This is why I am, you know, behind the scenes when I'm not drinking and not acting like a fucking idiot on YouTube, I'm actually quite mature for my age. You see, yeah, people call me the kid because I look like a kid, but I've learnt to grow up. I don't let people drive me around because I drive myself. I don't let my own parents buy me anything because I buy everything myself. I brought myself, you know, my own shopping today. I bought some mac cheese because I like some mac cheese. Bought myself some pasta dishes. I bought my own shopping. You know, I bought my own drinks. Because in life, why should your parents be the one buying you everything? If you live under their roof, why is it just rent you pay them? Why can't you pay them a little bit extra for the, you know, electricity? Because you use their electricity. And judging by that little fucking heater down there, I'm probably going to start, I said to my parents, I'm going to start giving them some extra money because, you know, I want to help them. Yeah, it's just, I made this video because some people need to act their age. Some people need to grow up. Now, if you somewhere in this down somewhere, I'll give you the link at the end of this video in one of the corners about how people need to grow up. Watch this vid, then watch that one, and you can see probably the similarities what I'm talking about. Also in one of these corners, because we get 4 in each corner, well, 1 in each corner. So one vid will be about how people should grow the fuck up. The next one will be in the other corner, probably about my last vid, and the vid before that. So you always get like a variety of vids every time pop up. Currently I've got a vid uploading right now, but I don't know if that's going to be uploaded before or after this, because for some reason it's going really slow, the upload speed, and it hasn't done it to me before. So yeah, I'm working on some singing. I've got a lot of content coming. It's just time to, you know, upload it. So I thought I'd make this vid because I thought that you know, if you're immature and you act like a child, no one will date you. Nobody wants to date someone that is a child and doesn't act like an adult. You know, it's time that we all grow up in this world and start acting our age, because, you know, our families, our parents can't be around forever. So once they're gone, we have to start doing things on our own. So why not you start learning now how to cook, start learning how to clean. I mean, fuck, I'm shit at ironing, but I can do it. I can iron, yeah, even me, I can iron. I can fucking put dishes away, I can vacuum, I can dust, I can cook. I'm a very good cleaner, I can clean. I just don't like doing toilets. I hate doing, especially when there's skid marks. Whoa. But I can be clean. As you can see, my room's actually, apart from this little stain here, I haven't cleaned that off. But most of my room's clean. Like I've got no rubbish in here. I've got, you know, a couple of cans there that I'll throw away and stuff. But you know, you can start by cleaning your room every day. So if you got washing, I'm not going to show you because it's like I'm sitting on like a big pile of washing, believe it or not. So if you've got washing, put it in the washing basket. If you've got rubbish, put it in your room especially. Put it all into a bag and throw it in the bin. If you've got cans like myself, put it in a recycling bin. You know, because and I'll tell you, make sure you vacuum your room at least, you know, every 2 days, because for every crumb that's on the floor or dust appear, you know, little mice can come in and spiders come in, and you know, you don't want that shit. So I'm pretty alright for now. I still need to vacuum, and make sure you vacuum like under your bed and dust like behind your bed, because like if you get so much dust, it can cause a fire too. Cooking, you need to learn to cook. If you're by the age of 30, if you haven't learned how to cook, you're a fucking idiot. Where the fuck you've been for 30 years? Well, 20 years, because, you know, you can't. I suppose you can start cooking at a young age. I would teach my kids, if I had them, to start at a young age when it comes to cooking. So, yeah, but when it comes to license, if you're 30 years old and don't have a license, there's something wrong with you. Now, I started pretty late. I started about 21, 23, so I think the age you need to start getting a license is at least 18, because it's not fair on your parents, they're getting old, for you to, you know, come pick them up at nights or drive them around. And the other thing that pisses me off about some people, they can't leave the house without mummy or daddy holding their hands, or mummy and daddy coming out with them. Are you fucking serious? I know one person that, you know, she won't walk by herself because she needs her mum to help her walk. Are you fucking serious? You're an adult and you need one of your parents to like go out with you to the shops or walk down the street. That's fucking immature. Like, I when I go out at night, I don't need my mum and dad next to me. You know, I don't care. I even walk at like fucking dark parks sometimes at nights when I play Pokemon, and I fucking don't need anyone's help for that. There's so many people I know that just, you know, act like a child. They need their parents' help for everything. When you're an adult, you don't need your parents' help for anything. Alright? You need to grow the fuck up. If you have your parents helping you in any way every single day, then you're a fucking sorry son of a bitch. I get angry with this subject because I know so many people that fucking won't grow up. they literally can't cook or clean or do anything, and they expect their parents to take them to the shops, or walk them to the shops, or walk them at nights to just to play Pokemon. And it's like, fuck, grow the fuck up. So that's all I'm going to say on this subject. Thank you for watching. As you can see in the four corners, the vids popping up. One will be about the previous vid, one will be about grow the fuck up, and random things. So thank you all for watching, and I'll talk to you all soon.